Okay, this video is on chapter 12, part 2. Still on measures of central tendency, finding out roughly where the center is, what the center value is. But now we're dealing with information from grouped data. In the previous set of notes, the data, they were all ungrouped. Okay, now what is the difference? So here in our second page, when they are grouped into frequency tables, they look like this. We'll find out more, we'll learn more about how we deal with them in a short while. So we call these data grouped data. So consider the following data on the number of goals of a soccer team in 30 matches. There are 30 matches. So in the first match, maybe they scored 3 goals. In the second match, they scored 0 goals, then 0 goals again, so on and so forth. But we expect 30 different results. Or rather, we expect 30 results. That would take up a lot of space. So we realized that, hey, the number of goals actually range from 0 to 4. Minimum is 0 goals. And within these 30 games, the maximum number of goals that they scored was actually 4. So we can actually do a summary inside this frequency table. Okay, so not difficult to understand. Now, how many matches did they score 0 goals? There are 5 matches with 0 goals, 12 matches with 1 goal, 10 with 2, so on and so forth. So if we add up all these values, we expect it to give us 30. So let's do a quick check. 17, 27, 29, 30. Yeah, 30 matches. Now, if we didn't put them in the frequency table like this, and we listed out all the values, this would be what it looks like. So the number of goals, we got 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. That's 5 of them. Okay, now we've got, wow, 12 matches with 1 goal only. So you can see that it gets quite tedious and difficult to count. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then due to the lack of space, I'll just continue at the bottom. We've got 10 matches with 2 goals. So 2, 2, 2, 2. So there are 10 of them. Over here we've got 12 of them. And then for 3 goals, now there are only 2 matches. 2 matches. And finally, when they played really well, they scored 4 goals. That was only 1 match. So without grouping them into a frequency table, this is what it will look like when it gets very long. So a group data is actually useful for us. It's a useful way for us to summarize everything. So now that we understand what a group frequency table is trying to tell us, we can start with part A. Write down the mode. So the definition of mode, no change. We are looking for the value that appears the most frequently. And in this case, 12 is our highest frequency. And what is the value? The value is actually 1. Remember when we drew everything out, there was a lot of 1s, right? So there are 12 of them. Our mode is 1. Not 12, Our mode is 1 goal. Now, to find the median number of goals, again, no change. To find the middle position, there are 30 data points. So 30 plus 1 divided by 2, we get 15.5. Again, this tells us that it is between number 15 and number 16. The median position is between number 15 and number 16. So because we have our frequency table described like this, we can easily find what is the value for number 15, the value for number 16, and we take the average. So how many zeros were there? There are 5 of them. So this contains position number 1, position number 2, all the way to position number 5. Whereas for 1 goal, it continues with position number 6 all the way to position number 17. So how do I know 17? So quickly, because 5 plus 12 is 17. So we continue. This must be from position number 18. Position 18 comes after position 17. All the way to position number 17 plus 10, 27, and so on and so forth. Now we are looking at position number 15 and 16. So going back here, position number 15 as well as 16 lies within this range. Okay, so position number 15 has a value of 1 go. Position number 16 also has value of 1 go. So the average of 1 and 1 is going to be still 1. So median equals to 1 go. Now, part C, to find the mean number of goals, can you imagine, if we didn't have the group data, you would be adding a lot of numbers. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0, so 5 of them, plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, how many of them? 12 of them. Plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, so many 2s? 10 of them. We're going to add everything up, and then we divide by 30. And that isn't a fast and easy way to do it. So we've got a formula which you can easily derive yourself. The formula is summarized as such, and we saw this in chapter 12, part 1 already. No change. So X over here is the data value. Okay, the number of goals, and F is for our frequency. So when we write Fx as shown in the formula, Fx just means frequency times the data value. So imagine if you want to add everything up, you would take 0 times 5. Or you have 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0. And we all know that that's a waste of time. It's going to give us 0 anyway. But the usefulness comes when we move on to the data value of 2 and above. Now, even if it is data value of 1, 12 times 1 is simply 12. We can easily do that. Now, how many 2s did we have? We had 10 of them. We are adding 2 10 times. So 10 times 2, we get 20. How many 3s? There are 2 of them. So 6. How many 4s? Only 1. So 4. Now, in the column on the right-hand side, remember this symbol over here, it means summation. Summation is just to add up, not scary. Okay, we add up all the frequencies. 5 plus 12, 10 plus 2 plus 1. As expected, we get 30. Then we have the summation of the Fx. We add 0 to 12 to 20 to 6 to 4. You add all of them up, we get 42. So what is actually happening over here so far is that in the numerator, this numerator, we get 42. How did we get 42? We take 0 times 5 plus 1 times 12 plus 2 times 10 plus 3 times 2 plus 4 times 1. That is half of the step that you require to calculate your average in primary school. No change. So our mean, which is also known as X bar, we get 42 out of the summation for the frequency, the total frequency, total count. So 30. And this gives us 1 and 2 of 5 goals. Okay, so if you do not want to use this formula, you would have to write down everything. You have to add everything up, which is a waste of time. When you can actually use multiplication, since you're adding the same numbers to itself. Now, in example number 2, we have students. The number of students who have stuffed toys. So there is 1 student who has no stuffed toys. We've got 2 students who have 1. We've got 3 students who have 2 stuffed toys. We've got an unknown number of students who have 3 stuffed toys. We've got 1 of them who has 4 stuffed toys. If this is not in a frequency table, what actually does it look like? So it will look like this. We've got 1 student with 0. We've got 2 students. Sorry, mistake. We've got 2 students who have one toy. We've got 3 students who have 2. We've got, oh no, X. We've got an unknown number of students who have 3. So let's just put it this way. Okay, this over here, we've got X students. And then we've got 1 student who has 4. Now take note, when you draw it this way, I put the start as a 3 and the ending as a 3. But it could very well be no students have 3 toys. It could be just 1 student who has 3 toys. It could be 2, it could be 3, it could be more. We don't know. Okay, so calculate the value of X given that the mean is 2.5. Using our formula, or in fact just using our own logic, if you want to find the mean, you will be adding everything up and dividing by the number of students to give us the mean of 2.5. So let us try adding everything up. So how many zeros are there? We've got 0. So 1 times 0 is how many zeros are there? There is only 1. So 1 times 0 is 0 toys. Now we've got 2 students. By the way, this is fx. We're creating another row at the bottom. 2 students with 1 toy. So 2 times 1 is 2. Total 2. 3 students with 2. So these 3 students have a total of 6 toys. We've got X students who have 3 toys. So how many toys do they have? They've got 3x. We're just multiplying f and x. And then we have 4. So we continue to say that the summation for the frequency, okay, here we've got 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus x plus 1. So that is a total of 7 plus x. There are 7 plus x students who are surveyed. And then we move on to our summation of fx, where we add everything up, 0 plus 2 plus 6 plus 3x plus 4. That gives us a total of 12 plus 3x. Okay, so our mean is found by adding up the total number of stuffed toys. So the total number of stuffed toys is actually 12 plus 3x. Turns out it is an unknown. We don't know the number of stuffed toys altogether. However, the expression is going to be 12 plus 3x. We have to divide this by the total number of students who are surveyed, which is 7 plus x. Another same unknown over here, x. Now, the question told us that the mean is 2.5. 2.5 is just 5 over 2, or you can leave it as 2.5 if you want to, okay? So I'll put it as 5 over 2. So now we end up with an equation with only one unknown, which is x. So using a pencil, so a quick summary in our solving for equations, we're going to do a multiplication as such. So 2 times of 12 plus 3x, we get 5 times of 7 plus x. So do your expansion, we get 24 plus 6x equals to 35 plus 5x. Let's continue on the right hand side. So now what I'm gonna do is to subtract 5x on both sides. Okay, my objective is to remove this 5x by subtracting it. So on the left hand side, 6x minus 5x leaves me with just x. I also want to, at the same time, get rid of 24. So I do that by subtracting 24. If I subtract 24 on the left side, I also must do the same subtraction of 24 on the right side. So 35 minus 24, which is 11. So we found the value of x, which is 11. In order for you to really fully accept this, substitute, this is optional, substitute this value of x back into the question and calculate the average. using a primary school idea of finding average, you will find that everything fits perfectly. So next, we have practice 1. We've got the table below showing the marks scored by a class of students in the English quiz. So again, we have a range of marks from 0 to 5. And we've got the number of students scoring these values. So unknown number of students scored 4 marks. And then they ask us to find the value of x, given that the mean is actually 3. So the method is still the same. We want to find out what fx is. This marks over here is our f. This is our, marks is x. Number of students is our f frequency. So 0 times 2, 2. You can do all this multiplication instantly. 3 times 1 is 3, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 4, 12. We've got 4x here and 15. So the next thing we want to write is the summation, the total number of students. So 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 4 plus x plus 3. Total we get 14 plus x. Next one, we have summation of fx, where we want to find out the total marks for every single student. So 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 12 plus 4x plus 15. So we get 34 plus 4x. Okay, so the mean, the calculation would be the total mark, 34 plus 4x, divided by the total number of students. So 14 plus x. And this will give us, according to the question, the mean, they tell us it is 3. So again, do the multiplication, solve for x. So we get 34 plus 4x multiplied by 1. We will not waste time writing that. Equals to 3 times of 14 plus x. Do the expansion, 34 plus 4x. On the right hand side, we get 52. Is it 14 is 3? No. 42 plus 3x. So let's continue. Subtract 3x on both sides. We get x on the left hand side. Subtract 34 on both sides. 42 minus 34, we get 8. So x has a value of 8. Let us update our table. So now this is 8. Next, part B, find the model mark. So the mark that appears the most frequently, the mark that has the highest frequency. So in other words, what is the mark that appears the most? So in this case, quite clearly, 4 appears the most times. So mode or model mark equals to 4. Find the median. So now, to find the median, we need to know the middle position. So middle position equals to the total number of students plus 1 divided by 2. So what is the total number of students now? This is now updated to 14 plus x, right? X is 8, so 14 plus 8, got 22 students who are surveyed. So middle position will be 22 plus 1 divided by 2 to give us 11.5. We have the middle position as 11.5, implying that we have to look at position number 11 as well as position number 12. What are their values? So where is our position number 11? We go through, let's go through this again. We've got 2 students who get 0. So for 0 marks, we've got our position number 1, 2, position number 2. For the 1 mark, students who obtain 1 mark, we've got our position number 3 all the way to position number 5. Here, for students obtaining 2 marks, we've got position number 6 all the way to position number 7. Those 6 and 7. We're still not there yet, right? We're looking for position number 11 and 12. Okay, so next one, scoring 3 marks. We've got position number 8 all the way to position number 11. Okay, just pause a moment. Remember, our middle position is number 11.5, right? So we are interested in position number 11's value, which we now know is 3 marks. We are also interested in position number 12. From here, we've got position number 12 all the way to position number 5, 6, 7, 11, 19. All the way to position number 19. So we have the information required already. The median is the average of the value for position number 11 and position number 12, which is 3 and 4. So you get 3.5 marks. So finally, for part D, if one more student with a score of 3 marks is added to the group, find a new mean. Okay, so just imagine, right now we've got 22 students, right? We add in another student, and after we, and he has a score of 3. After we add him in, the mean didn't change. Logically, what's the implication? Okay, not that the mean didn't change. Sorry, I misread the question. So one more student with a mark 3 is added to the group. So the original mean is 3, right? And this guy, he has 3 marks also. When he's added into this group, the new mean is not going to be affected because he has his own score is the same as the mean. He didn't change the new mean. It is still 3. You can go ahead and take 22 times 3 to find out the original total number of marks. Then you add in another 3 marks. You divide this by 23 students. You'll find that the mean is still 3. Okay, so that one you can try it out by yourself. So the next example, here we have to find, we are looking at a survey for the number of mobile phones owned by people. So again, this type of question with an unknown number of people holding on to 2 mobile phones. So now they tell us that the mode is 2. Mode being the most frequent. Okay, the most frequently occurring value is 2. This is our frequency here. This is our x value. The most frequent value, that is, shouldn't use x because this is already x here. Okay, the most frequent value is actually 2. So this 2 appears the most times. Let that sink in first. We've got 0 mobile phones appearing 6 times. We've got 1 mobile phone appearing 13 times, which is a lot. We've got 2 mobile phones appearing x times. We've got 3 mobile phones appearing 2 times. And now part A tells us that 2 mobile phones appear the most times. So we compare that with 1 mobile phone. 1 mobile phone appeared 13 times. X has to be more than 13 in order for 2 mobile phones to be the mode. So X must be more than 13. So it could be 14, 15, 16, 17, so on and so forth. But the question says, find the smallest possible value of X. So based on this, X is simply 14. Now they tell us that the mean is 1. Calculate the value of X. We do what we've always been doing. 0 times 6, 0, 13 times 1, 2x, and here we've got 6. Summation of the frequency 19, 20, 21 plus x, summation of fx. We've got 19 plus 2x. Okay, so mean 19 plus 2x over 21 plus x equals to, oh, just nice, 1. So this means you can do a cross multiplication anyway, or you can just look at it this way. Numerator equals to denominator for it to be equal to 1. So 19 plus 2x equals to 21 plus x. Subtract x on both sides, subtract 19 on both sides, x will be equal to 2. So if the mean is 1, x has a value of 2. Do take note, part A, part B, not connected. Okay, so now median is 1, state the largest possible value of x. Let us list down all the values so that we have a better understanding. 6 of them have 0 mobile phones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people. We've got 13 of them with 1 mobile phone. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 people. It's quite troublesome, right, to write so many ones. So sometimes, the center doesn't really matter. We just put ... Sometimes we exaggerate even more, like this. It is fine. Okay, but for the purpose of really being able to see and count, let's put in all the ones back. Okay. And how many twos are there? We don't know. So we just put some random values. We got x people. And finally we've got 2 people with 3 phones. 3 and 3. So here 2 people. Now they tell us that the median is 1. Median is 1. Look, there are so many ones over here. There are 13 of them. Let's go from left to right. Could this particular one be the median? Could this be the median? To answer that question, count the number of people on the left. It's got 6. Count the number of people on the right. This is definitely more than 6. So, in other words, this one cannot be the median. Okay, so you continue down the line, until you reach somewhere perhaps here. Let's just do a quick count. Got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We've got 15 people over here. So if this value of 1 is the median, it means that there are 15 people here as well, right? If there are 15 people here, out of which 3 of them own 1 phone, 2 of them own 3 phones. So 15 minus 3 minus 2, we get 10, which means that 10 people own 2 phones. Okay, so this is what is happening. If this one over here is the median, so I have a possible value for x, which is 10. What if that was not the median? What if the next one over here is the median instead? What would happen to the value of x? Okay, so just one more example over here. So we've got now 16 people on the left, which means that there would be 16 people over here as well. If that happens, we have 2, okay, these 2 plus x plus another 2 people equals to 16. which tells me that x is equal to 12. Hey, so as I move to the right, my x value becomes larger from 10 to become 12. And the question says, find the largest possible value of x. As we move to the right, x gets bigger. So if I want largest possible value of x, I should be choosing this value as my median. So now let's count. We've got 6 plus 12. We've got 18 people on the left. If this is the median, then I've got 18 people here as well. And now our value of x is going to be 18 minus the 2 people who own 3 phones. So this is our x value, 16. The largest possible value of x is going to be 16. So your working for this particular question can be as simple as this. But how do you get 18 in the first place? It would help many of you to actually have a way of listing down the numbers. Obviously, you do not have to write down all 13 ones. You can just, like I mentioned, put the first one, then dot, 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 then the last one. Okay, to cut you to save you a little bit of time.